Day one in the beautiful city of Oaxaca. I made it here a few hours ago this afternoon. I missed the connecting flight this morning because apparently in Mexico City you have to go through immigration before you can get to connections, and the immigration line was so long that like I missed my flight. Anyway, besides the extra 4 hours I had to wait in the airport for the next flight, I'm here and it's so beautiful. I've been walking around. It so far reminds me a lot of Trinidad in Cuba. It's just as colorful as Trinidad was, and like, I don't know, the streets look very similar, and like the hills and the backdrop are similar to the hills in Trinidad, and it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The Mexicans here are ever so friendly as I remember them. Seriously, like in the plane, in both my flights this morning, I sat next to two Mexican women. We had like brief chats and they were super friendly. And then like just this afternoon, while I was like eating in like this like cafeteria area that I was in, I like started a conversation with the people around me, and like everyone was so like friendly and inquisitive, like, oh, what you doing here? And they like explain things to me and recommend things to me. Like one guy in particular gave me his business card and he was like, if you need anything, let me know, and he gave me this whole itinerary for Sunday. Yes, they're super cool, and like you smile at people on the street and they smile back, and it's wonderful. So Oaxaca, not just the city, like the whole region in Mexico, is actually like such a like multi-purpose destination. Like it's not just known for culture, but also nature and gastronomy, and there's just like so many things to do and see and taste in Oaxaca, and it's like overwhelming. Personally, my bucket list for Oaxaca revolves more around the food and drink. In particular, like there's so many like traditional like meals that come from Oaxaca, but I'm really interested in mole. I've had mole before. It was in Mexico City and it was so good. Like I'm so excited to try it like in its actual place of origin, which is Oaxaca. So yeah, I'm gonna have lots of that. Coffee. Apparently Oaxaca produces some of Mexico's like best coffee, like coffee beans. Same with cacao beans. So Oaxaqueño chocolate is actually also pretty famous. And what was the last thing? Oh yeah, mezcal. Obviously, mezcal. Mezcal is super Oaxaqueño, and so I'm also gonna probably have lots of that here. Yeah, so that's already a lot of things to try. Apart from food, I'm also super like interested in, and it's actually why I'm here, like the Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead festival. It's heavily celebrated in Oaxaca actually, so like people come here for it. And I'm actually not going to be in Oaxaca, I'm going to be in Puebla for the actual Dia de los Muertos, but there's already like so many activities kicking up and like foods being made around this holiday, and it's super cool.
Si encuentras un amor que te comprenda, si sientas que te quiere más que nadie, entonces yo daré la media vuelta y viviendo en el sol.
So apparently there's a old aqueduct running through Oaxaca. Well, not right through Oaxaca, but like in the north section. This is it. And I think it's super interesting that these houses have sort of just like been built around the arcs. That's so cool. Look at that. Good morning, by the way. Day 2 in Oaxaca. This looks so cool. And like just the hills in the backdrop is so beautiful. So yeah, I'm taking a walk around this beautiful barrio of Oaxaca. It's called Xochimilco, and it's so nice. It's so nice. I just had really good breakfast, and yeah. This is probably one of the most like the coolest and most calm library I've ever seen. It's like a little library park thing. It's called Biblioteca Infantil, so like kids library. They've got those little costume things for a bride and groom. That's so cute. I'm walking down the street and I can swear I could hear Arabic belly dancing music. And what do I know? There's like a dance studio. Habibi. Certified by Samir Mubarak from Egypt. So, a little bit random, but I'm in a museum called El Nombre de Español. Okay, it's like a stamp museum basically, so it's for like stamps. It sounds weird, but I've heard good things about it, so I decided to go in. It's actually pretty cool. And surprisingly, there's like a little exhibition for Lebanese stamps. So like, this is how it works. Got these things, you pull them out, like that, and you look at the stamps. It's so cool. I was like taking pictures of them, and then this guy comes up to me. He was like, stamps de Líbano, why are you like interested in it? And I was like, oh, because I'm Arab. I think it's pretty cool that there's like random Lebanese stamps in this museum in Mexico. And he's like, oh my god, I'm like so interested in Lebanon for some random reason. He like mentioned Gibran Khalil Gibran. He thinks he's a really good like author. I guess he reads his books, probably translated. But anyway, super cool random Mexican dude who's passionate about Lebanon. So we talked about it a little. Anyway, this was pretty neat find. This is still the museum. This is all still part of the museum. ¿Perdón?
45, de 25, de 15, de 10 y de 6.
So, on my quest to have as many types of mole in Oaxaca as possible, this is one. These are little tamalitos, or tamales, but small version of tamales. And they're surrounded with, it's called mole de chichilo, I think. Okay, so this one is super interesting. This mole, the sauce on top of the food that I cannot pronounce right now, is mole manche manteles, which means mole that stains the tablecloth, which I think is a really funny name. Apparently this mole is distinct from others in the fact that it includes fruits in it. So I think pineapple, banana, I'm not sure if depends, I'm not sure, maybe this one doesn't have pineapple, it has other fruit. But anyway, it's very interesting and it looks so good. And look at that flower on top, it's so cute. Okay, that was delicious. So that definitely did have some sort of fruit in it. Definitely pineapple. I could taste it. It was delicious. I think that was the best mole I had today. Between this one and the negro and the coloradita that I had for lunch, or coloradito. Anyway, so good.
Good morning. So I am in Tlacolula today. It's about 30 kilometers away from Oaxaca City, and I'm here on a Sunday, which is a big deal because the Tlacolula Sunday market is one of Oaxaca's biggest markets. Actually, the only one that's like one of the biggest and the oldest. It's really important because apparently it's like visited by Oaxacans, especially those who live in like the rural areas of the state. They come here for their weekly shopping. Lots of indigenous people. You can see lots of indigenous women in their like traditional clothing. It's really cool. The market is, it's huge. There's only one bigger market in Oaxaca, and it's the one that I went to yesterday in the city. That one is huge. It's like a city within a city, honestly. It's massive. So much is going on in there. This one's similar, but just a little bit smaller, and I actually like it a little bit more. It's less intimidating. But yeah, super cool. I had some good food already, and just there's so much going on. There's like I ran into like an intersection in the market that seems to be like the chicken intersection or something, because there's literally just people holding live turkeys and chickens, I'm guessing for sale, and they're just standing there, I guess, waiting to trade or sell them with other people. It's very, very old school market, very interesting. I got here with taxi colectivo, which cost me like 25 pesos, which is like what, $1, $1.50. The ride was beautiful. You could see the sierras, like the green hills on both sides of the street. That was awesome. And now I'm gonna try to find a taxi colectivo to go somewhere else, and then from there go to Hierve, Agua, which is like I will explain it to you when I get there. Where I was sitting and writing for the past, 40 minutes. Look where I am! I'm in Las Sierras! So basically, I took another taxi colectivo, but it was like a camioneta. It's like a minivan, and I was sitting like in the back. It was like 8 other people. And we kept going up and up and up and left and right, and the roads were super bumpy, but the views were incredible. And we're up here now, and the air is so fresh and cool, and it's like I'm so happy to be here.
Legit Oaxacan black coffee.
So this is basically the monumental part of this area, Hierve el agua, which means the water boils. So it has to do with these formations, these natural formations that clearly have been marked by the flow of water. You can come swim, apparently. It's what these people are doing. I did not intend to do that. I am really, really enjoying this view though. Look at these hills. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's beautiful. I'm so happy. Look at the way the I was gonna say the water falls. It's not falling. The way the rocks are formed. It's incredible. It's like it's painted on with a brush, you know? It's one thing to see this in pictures, which I've seen a lot of doing my research on Oaxaca. It's completely something else to see it in person. Wow. Just wondering if you can hear and see the drops of water that are falling down. Human for scale. Look at that, it's incredible. This place is so beautiful. I'm so happy I made it up here. I'm so happy to be in the mountains. I'm so happy to be in the nature and just like to be here in Oaxaca. I'm just like, yeah, you know, overwhelmed. En la camioneta otra vez para volver a Mitla. Estoy esperando más gente porque es un colectivo, ¿no? Okay, good morning. So I am in Monte Albán today, which is an archaeological site in Oaxaca, comprised of pyramids and temples and stuff like that. Apparently it used to be inhabited since 500 BC for centuries, and it's like one of the few sites in the world in which the state was used as a government. Like, it's shown that there used to be some sort of like functioning governmental system in the site, like it was this proper city. So yeah, to explore. One really cool thing about this place is that it lies above a series of mountains. We're 1900 meters above sea level, and so the views from here are gonna be amazing. Look, you can see the mountains in the distance. I love this place already because it's so green. Sitting at the top of this pyramid, and honestly the best thing right now is that the sun is behind the clouds. So like, not only, I mean, the photos like come out much better. There's no like glare from the sun. It also doesn't feel so hot. It's like, feels so great to be outside. So I was just asked by a Mexican lady who was taking my photos, ¿De qué parte de España vienes? What part of Spain do you come from? And I was like, I'm not Spanish. She's like, oh, your accent's very Spanish. And I was like, ah, thanks, but I'm not. I'm from Canada. Anyway, that felt like a big compliment for me. It's not the first time that I heard that my accent was like Spanish, but like to be like asked directly, what part of Spain are you from? It's like super flattering. before I go, this is like literally steps away from the parking lot where the buses come to pick you up. Yeah, like I said, this site is like elevated on a hill, so it's just pretty marvelous 360 views. This was a great trip. I highly recommend coming here to Monte Albán. It's honestly 30 minutes away from Oaxaca City. So I left at 10:30. I'll be back by 2:30, so that's 4 hours. So I still have so much time to spend in Oaxaca City. So it's not like it needs a whole day, you know?
Oaxacan chocolate milk, because Oaxaca is a pretty big producer of cocoa. This cafe in particular has something called a guava pie. The filling is made of guava, and I'm very, very excited about it. So good. It's basically like a cheesecake, but a little more solid and not as sweet. Like just a subtle hint of the guava flavor. It's so delicious.
De que él sepa cuál es el verdadero dolor, de que él sepa cuál es el verdadero sufrimiento, aunque tenga que hacer un pacto con la misma muerte.
A mí no me metas.
Si quieren saber cómo voy a vengarme de Alfredo, cómo voy a matarlo, por favor acompáñenme.
De que extrañarán a sus seres queridos. Por eso han de volver cada 1 de noviembre. Así que corran, vayan a sus antiguos hogares, disfruten de sus ofrendas este día. Disfruten de sus seres amados y sus seres queridos, porque también a ellos me los voy a llevar.
So what I just saw over there was they called a recorrido de leyenda, which is like a tour, a legends tour. So I think it was basically a free show of these people acting out legends, basically leyenda de Mictlán. It was basically, you know, the woman dressed as like the Grim Reaper, describing like the different lives that she's taken away, or that death has taken, basically. It was really good. It was really, really cool.
Qué lejos estoy del suelo donde he nacido. Qué inmensa nostalgia invade mi pensamiento.
All right, so good morning. This is my penultimate day in Oaxaca, and I've left the city. I made it to the Sierra del Norte, to a town called Cuajimoloyas. Took a while to get here. Long story short, I couldn't find like the bus that takes you here, so I had to eventually get a private taxi to get here and spend a bit of money, but you know what, it's okay. I'm here. Basically, this is a town it's an part of ecotourism in Oaxaca, and these towns where you can like spend a night or two. Actually, they recommend that you spend a night or two here. Right now we're like 3,200 meters above sea level, and because of the isolation, it's supposed to be really nice at night, you know, see the stars and stuff. And also you can do many different outdoor activities, like hiking tours, climbing, stuff like that, zip lining. Here they offer like hiking tours that are 3, 5, 6 hours long. Because I'm only going to spend the day here, I'm going to do a 3-hour hike. But if I had more time in Oaxaca, like definitely, like if you know, if you're planning a trip to Oaxaca, you know, if you want to plan 2 days to go to one of these towns to spend like a night, highly recommended. But yeah, it's really cool up here. You know, the air is cool, and I'm excited for this hike. And yeah, should be good.
Y al verme tan solo y triste, cual hoja al viento, quisiera llorar, quisiera morir del sentimiento. Oh tierra del sol, suspiro por verte. Y ahora...
Oh my God, me gusta mucho.
Sí, otro.
Wow.
Otra planta medicinal.
Ajá.
Como ensalada se...
¿Cómo se sabe? Bien.
Muy rico.
Gracias. ¿Sí? ¿Sí? ¿Como algo de mente? No.
Así, sí, sí, así. Muy rico. Sí. Otra.
Gracias. Es muy grande.
Sí, comestible. Comestible, muy rico.
Entonces lo...
Esto lo limpian.
Sí.
Le quitan esto.
Ah, ok.
Así. Luego también esto un poquito.
Sí.
Sí. Y ya lo cortan, le echan su cebolla, su ajo y muy rico. Acá.
Se puede...
Sí, oler.
Poder, sí.
Muy
Wow,
rico.
sí.
Muy rico.
Y al verme tan solo y triste, cual hoja al viento, quisiera llorar, quisiera morir del sentimiento. Quisiera llorar, quisiera morir del sentimiento.
We just climbed up a cave. And now we're going all the way up there.
Suspiro por verte. Y ahora muy lejos, yo vivo sin luz, sin tu amor.
Mirador.
El Calvario, así se llama.
Calvario.
El mirador, el Calvario. ¿Sí?
Y al verme tan solo y triste, cual hoja al viento, quisiera llorar, quisiera morir del sentimiento. Quisiera llorar,
maravilla, no? Having so much fun on this hike with my guide. It's been really fun walking through like the forest and that part where we had to like get to the miradors, like the lookout points. There was like some climbing involved. The rocks were so cool. Like I could spend a whole day climbing there. I can see now why like people come here to climb. Super cool. It's been super nice, super good. It's like literally just me and him this whole route in this nature by ourselves. And we're back. I'm on my way to look for something to eat. But look at this place. People live here. Arroz con frijoles y hongos. Alright, so I'm back in Oaxaca. Really funny thing, I went back to the place where you're supposed to wait for like a taxi colectivo to come take you back to Oaxaca or Tlacolula, but they come quite infrequently, so it could have been a long wait. But there were these two Australians who live in Vancouver who were waiting for a taxi to come pick them up. It was basically already paid for, like included in their tour, like we're doing some tour thing. And so they were really nice and they agreed to just let me go with them for free. Like they had space in the car, and so I had a really nice ride back to Oaxaca. The views were incredible. Again, like just the roads through the sierras are just so nice, and we got to talking and they told me that they're also engineers, and actually the father of the husband worked for Arup in Australia, which is the company I work for. So it was a very interesting coincidence. Anyways, so I'm back and it's still only like 5 o'clock, so I still have so much time to spend here. It's my last night here. I'm leaving tomorrow. Very sad. This is such a beautiful place. Oaxaca's been so incredible. This day was incredible. I'm so happy I made it all the way up there, even though it took some time this morning to get there, but it's all good. What I'm gonna remember from this day is like the beautiful hike that I did, the beautiful view, the climbing. It was really fun. The people I met, the food I had. It was great. It was really good.
Un día se cayó y todavía sigue cayendo. Sí. Oye, pero como que todavía falta mucho para llegar, ¿no?
Con un altar a nuestros muertos simbolizamos los 7 niveles para ayudarles a alcanzar el cielo.
Recordamos a nuestros seres queridos, ofreciéndoles un pedacito de nuestras almas.
Mexicanito. Y el tercero es un Madre Quish. El maestro Juan Vázquez.
Juan Vázquez. Just me and my mezcal tastings on my last night in Oaxaca. Cheers. So, it's my last day in Oaxaca, and I've decided to come back to this market that I was in on my first day here. I'm here because I want to get coffee to having a matcha very oily right now. The black coffee, but sweet with, I believe, some sugar, and like it has cinnamon in it. It's served in this like olla, this like clay mug. And for lunch, I just ordered an empanada con mole amarillo, so it's yellow mole, and it has an orange color. I ordered it from that lady over there, and she actually let me try like a little bit of her amarillo and her verde, her green mole, before ordering. So I think with that, I've tried all the main moles in Oaxaca. So, success! last Oaxacan drink, pozontle, which is what I'm having right now. It's actually so good. Alright, so good morning from Puebla. I made it here last night. I'm in the hostel right now. It's got a really nice courtyard. It's really empty, actually. It's like me and 3 other people, but it's fine because I'm here to hang out with the girls, Karen and Mariana, and their friends that I met the last time I was here. And so yeah, actually Mariana swung by last night to pick me up, take me to eat some street food because I hadn't eaten since like lunch. I had like a pelona, which is like this like fried sandwich. I had it with chicken, and I had memelas, which is basically small tortilla like fried and like dipped in salsa, and we had poblano punch, like a warm drink, and I had a dessert, a gordita. So that was fun. Now I'm off to explore the city. So yeah. This is one of Puebla's famous callejones, or little streets, which are clearly famed for their beauty. Super, super pretty here. Okay, I just picked up this little thing which explains the different, the like what an altar is and the significance of like all the things that they put in the altar. So I'll have a read during breakfast and then summarize them for you. Lunch is served. I'm having chanclas, which are basically sandwiches. This one has chicken in it and avocado and like drenched in mole poblano. So yeah, looks pretty good to me. A barrio right now called Barrio Xanenetla, if I'm pronouncing that right. Supposedly this is a barrio that, I mean, it has historical significance, but as of like the past 8 years or so, it's been used popularly for street art. And there's some really cool murals around here. Like this one, and this one, and this one. And all the way inside here as well. So cool. This whole section is amazing. This, all the way down to this mural. This mural is so cool. Look at this art. Damn. And of course, at the end of the street, a church. I love this one. It's beautiful. So, Puebla has like a hill that you could go to the top of to see, to get a nice view of the city. And also up here there's museums for like the Cinco de Mayo events. Basically Cinco de Mayo is like particularly celebrated in Puebla because like the events of Cinco de Mayo happened here in Puebla. It's like when the Mexicans managed to defeat the French military, so it's a big deal. So I'm gonna go visit that and enjoy the view. If you look close enough, you can distinguish lots of different beautiful colors and also a number of churches. 2 big ones are that one, Templo de San Francisco. That one over there is the Zócalo, so that's the big cathedral that I was in earlier, Catedral de Puebla. So this place used to be a fort. It was the fort where they fought from. where the Mexicans fought against the French. And these walls are remnants of the fort. And up here, there used to be a church. It doesn't exist anymore, but this is what it would have looked like. And look, Dia de los Muertos celebrations, or sorry, decoration. So, let's talk about this. So, Dia de los Muertos is a celebration of the dead, of the living and the dead. People make altars to pay respects to, it can be one particular person or it can be multiple people, deceased people, loved ones, and the things that they put on the altars have different significance. So for example, flowers, so many flowers, especially the orange one, the cempasúchil. So the flowers are supposed to be like, be able to guide like the spirits to the altar. And the orange one in particular is used because of its color and it's like represents the sun. Fruits and nuts and especially pan de muertos. They also can put other foods like rice, mole, water too. Those are just like considered like offerings from the living to the dead. Personal objects, so like depending on like the deceased, maybe if they were musicians, like instruments, stuff like that. Incense, they have incense. These little like candy skulls, which are, I mean, decoration I guess, but like again representing the deceased. Papel picado, so the paper that like has like drawings in it and stuff. This says that represents a union between life and death. And yeah, candles to light the way. So it's lots of stuff. It's super interesting. And what's also interesting is the celebration. This celebration is very particular in Mexico, and it preceded colonization. So this has nothing to do with like Spanish colonization. The indigenous people used to honor their dead, and so that's sort of like where this comes from. And the Grim Reaper I mentioned previously, like while I was in Oaxaca, actually that she has a name. She's Dama de la Muerte, like the woman of death, inspired by La Catrina. I don't actually know much about her. This doesn't say much about it, but anyway, Dama de la Muerte. So that kind of makes sense now, because like the plays that I was seeing earlier in Oaxaca was like of like there was the woman was dressed up as the Dama de la Muerte, which is pretty cool. In spirit of Day of the Dead, I got my face painted. I actually really love it, and it's so like every other person has their face painted here, so I love that it's like so normal to just walk around looking like this. Estamos en Zacatlán, que es un pueblo mágico. Estoy aquí con los amigos allá. In fact, this town is called Zacatlán de Manzanas, which is Zacatlán of apples, because apparently it grows really good apples here. And considering it's apple season right now, it's a good time to try some. We found a market. Ok, acá tenemos un ¿qué? Es un pan de una manzana entera. Es entera la manzana. Literalmente. The whole apple. Go ahead. A ver. Un manzana de Zacatlán. Oh, you only have seeds. Yeah. Okay. La manzana entera. We're up at the mirador, and there is supposed to be a view, but as you can see, it's super cloudy. Karen. Hey.
Era tu sal.
Oímos las cascadas, pero no lo vimos.
Exactamente.
Ahora está. Hola. Murales. Amigas.
Hey.
Hola, Sarah.
Hola. Hola, Sarah. Hola, Sarah. Sarah.
And now Sarah's gonna jump. Got it. Los murales de Zacatlán vienen con espejos y azulejos y cosas raras como maíz. Very elaborative, very detailed, super beautiful. Look. Another thing that Zacatlán is known for is its bread. So this is what I have right now. I think it's a pan de queso. So it's cheese bread, but it's a sweetened one. And you can see that's all this pink sugar on top. It's kind of like my jacket. But yeah, this was a nice visit. Now we're going to another town, Chignahuapan. Supuestamente ha llegado la Navidad acá en Chignahuapan. Nightmare Before Christmas Day. Es porque, Karen, ¿me puedes decir otra vez? ¿Es porque qué hacen aquí por la Navidad?
Aquí hacen esferas.
Esferas. ¿Qué son?
Las esferas son estas cosas grandes que se ponen en los árboles de Navidad.
Ah, okay.
Como de vidrio, vidrio delgadito.
Ajá.
Ornaments.
Christmas ornaments.
Ornaments. Eso.
Cool. Por eso. Okay.
Y por eso es famoso este pueblecito.
Oh.
Y supuestamente
¿Que es también un pueblo mágico?
Sí.
Exacto.
Y esa es la esfera de Navidad más grande del mundo.
¿Del mundo? No.
¿Sí?
¿Verdad?
¿Sí?
Y todavía está lloviendo. So we're in Chignahuapan and there is a festival going on tonight for Dia de los Muertos, but we couldn't get tickets for it, so we're kind of watching it. We're trying to see if we can see it from this edge of the lake. There, we can watch it like this. ¿Ya? ¿Pararon? Ya. Alright, so last day in Puebla. I had an amazing day yesterday with the girls and their friend Hector. Yeah, as I showed you, we went to Zacatlán and then to Chignahuapan. They're both pueblos mágicos. It was raining literally all day, all night. We were wet and cold, but I mean, you know, it was still really fun, and I'm so grateful for them for showing me around. And then at night we went out dancing, and that's all I wanted to do here in Mexico, go out like to a proper nightclub that played like proper reggaeton and like dance, and like we stayed out till like 4. Which I never do. But yeah, I'm going out to hang out with them again. This time we're going to Cholula, and maybe somewhere else, but Cholula for sure. And I was able to pass by, there's like a street here in Puebla that's called Calle de Dulces, like the street of sweets, where you can buy typical Pueblan sweets. So I bought like a basket of them, but I have no idea. I'm gonna bring them with me. Hopefully the girls will eat them with me, because I unfortunately can't, I don't think I can bring these back with me, and I want to try them, but it's a lot. I kind of wish I had Noor here to do like, when we were in Prague, was it Prague? No, in Germany, we did like we did a taste test of different like German sweets, and now I need someone to help me with these. But yeah, anyways, I have to go meet them now, and yeah, it's not raining today, so hopefully it should be good, and like I'll take good videos and stuff.
Okay, bye. So, I don't know if I mentioned before, but Mexico has a lot of stray dogs. It's actually like Cuba. I found that Cuba had a lot of stray dogs too. Here's a little guy just hanging out in this cafe that I'm in. Enjoying my Gibraltar. And as you can see, the cempasúchil flower is everywhere. That's the pyramid of Cholula that I'm going to climb. Apparently, this pyramid, so like the natural, like actual like hill we're talking about, it's like the biggest constructed like earthen pyramid in the world or something like that. And it has that beautiful like church on top. I'll let you know if that fact was incorrect, but I think it's pretty much like something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go meet Karen. Ya, no son tanto. Ya estamos. Ya estamos.
¡Ya estamos!
Those sounds you're hearing, it's those fireworks. Right there. Oh.
Karen me explicó que todo esto es un pirámide construyendo como se ve acá, pero está cubierto.
Está cubierta.
Totalmente cubierta. Over time, we've exposed some of it, so like this part and the ruins that were over there, but most of the pyramid is still covered. And that's the story of Cholula's pyramids. Gracias, Karen. The sun is setting in Cholula and the clouds are clearing up a little bit because before we couldn't see the volcanoes, but now you can. There are these two huge mountains here in Puebla, that one, oops, and there's one over there. And you can sort of see them now. They look so huge. Look at them. Look how big that one is. La estrella de Puebla. My last stop in Puebla on my last night. I'm not going up, but I'm just here to see it with the girls. Okay, apparently things just got exciting.
Ahí está tu cómo sabes. No había nadie, ¿verdad? No había nadie. Sí. Tú también.
Thank you.
Gracias.